You know, a great steak is still a very special treat for me. I love steak and the meat is so great in America. This is my friend David Jacques. He's a chef, he's an author, and more than all, he had a steak house, so you know about steak.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful. This is a beautiful steak, Jacques. How did you get these grill marks so perfect?
Well, I was taught this way. There are two ends to a New York strip steak. The hand toward the saddle, which is toward the back of the animal, and the other hand toward the shoulder, which has more fat, toward the rib. Cut 2 1-inch steak from the hand toward the loin. Trim off any fat, season with salt and freshly ground black pepper, then drizzle with a little bit of olive oil on top, pressing it into the meat. Set the steak on a hot grill or a very hot grill pan. It will cook for about 2 minutes on each side. To mark the steak, first turn them this way, then this way. Then turn again, changing the angle to mark the steak into a diamond pattern. Remember, for the perfect marking, you turn the steak this way, then this way, then this way, and then this way. The perfect cross-hatch pattern. While the steak rests, make the lemon-thyme butter by dropping 2 tablespoons of butter into the bowl of a food processor. Finally, mince fresh thyme leaves and add. Grate the zest of a lemon and add. Squeeze a little bit of lemon juice and season with salt and pepper. Process until smooth. You can add a dash of white wine too. Transfer the butter to a dish and chill before serving. Serve the rested steak with a garnish of fresh watercress. And that's it. That's the way I did it. You want to put a bit of butter on top of it here?
Oh, with pleasure, Chef.
That's good. That always, that never hurt, right?
Never hurts.
Okay. Is it
Perfectly cooked.
About like that for you?
It's beautiful.
You know, it's all about meat today, from easy to elegant. This is essential Pépin. The best way to start a great meal is to enjoy a glass of wine. But often, you know, when I have a large, beautiful piece of meat like that, then I work a whole meal around that type of piece of meat, and usually it's a traditional celebration. Today we're doing a dish of rib roast, and only this time I'm adding, you know, a kind of a spice rub to it because my wife loved that one. Then we're going to make veal chops with caper sauce, and finally a classic braised beef in red wine sauce. So we're going to have fun with meat today. Okay. When you get a standing rib roast like this, usually there is 7 rib from the shoulder to the loin here. And that part here, which is the more meaty, is toward the loin. The part which has more fat here, as you can see, is toward the shoulder. So when you get 3 rib, you try to get the 3 rib toward the loin, not toward the shoulder. And as you see, they come usually this way, covered. Sometimes people cook it with the piece of fat right on top of it to protect it. We're not doing this. Of course, we're taking everything out. By the time you finish cleaning it up, you lose about half of the weight of your roast beef. But since I'm doing that rub on top, I would rather remove all the fat and put the rub on top, because I have seen many times, and I remember working in restaurants, where you would do a beautiful rub on top of a, you know, rack of lamb or something like this. But of course, without removing the fat that I'm doing here. And what happened is that it gets into the dining room. The first thing that the maître d' does, you remove the whole top with all the fat, and then with all of the stuff that you put on top. So what's the point? You might as well clean it up first. Okay, so my rub is going to be made with garlic, a piece of ginger about the same size as the garlic. And you could do that in a small spice grinder or in a blender like this. That's pretty strong. Okay, I'm putting a couple of tablespoons of soy here. Here I am, yes. A bit of sugar. Now seasoning, like a Spanish paprika, they call pimento there. And cayenne, cayenne is very strong, so I will have just a little dash of cayenne and some mustard, dry mustard. I mean, you can vary your rub the way you want, you know, according to your own taste. This is a pretty spicy rub. Here we go. And this we're going to rub all over the meat. I'm going to use my hand, the best way of doing it, all over like this. I will put it upside down in a roasting pan here, and then put the rest of the rub on this side. And I will cook that in an oven around 400 degrees for about 30 minutes on one side. Of course, the timing is going to change slightly if it's thicker, bigger, and so forth. But about 30 minutes on one side, turn it on the other side, about 30 minutes on the other side. And then it has to rest before you carve it. My roast beef is cooking now, so I'm going to show you how to make veal chop with a caper sauce. Just sauté. So I have a rack of veal here, relatively small. This one is clean also. As you can see, I don't have the shin bone or anything. All I have is the rib. Nice. Here. Usually, again, you would clean that part of it which is on the bone here. And maybe do the end of the bone, really more for look than anything else. So, a little piece of butter. I want to season my meat with a little bit of salt and pepper. Salt on each side. Pepper, always freshly ground pepper. Black pepper is always my favorite. Okay, here we're going to cook this. That will cook usually about 3 minutes on each side, 2-3 minutes on each side. The veal is usually served slightly pink inside. We're going to do a sauce with onion. I have plenty here. I am going to have a little bit of rind of lemon here. That will add to it at the end. I have a lot of sage in my garden, and sage does actually quite well with veal. There is so many different sage. Some the leaves are extremely large, some very narrow, some slightly reddish. But sage is certainly not used as much as you would thyme or savory, you know. Let's see this. Yeah, this is beautiful now. When you put a piece of meat in the oven, like I put that roast beef, the heat comes from the outside, the meat shrinks. By shrinking, it squeezes itself out of juice. And that juice goes toward the center of the meat. That's the myoglobin or the muscle liquid, you know, in the muscle tissue. If I take that piece of meat out of the oven and cut right through, all of the outside, maybe 1 inch of the outside of the meat is gray, like if it's way overcooked, because it's squeezed out of juice. Now the center, on the other hand, is lukewarm, sometimes even cool, lukewarm, totally bloody, totally rare, and you say totally raw in the center, totally overcooked on the outside. You let that piece of meat rest, the meat decontract, and the myoglobin run through the meat. You have juice which start appearing in the stock, I mean in the pan, and your piece of meat is pink from the first slice to the last slice. This is important too. The bigger the piece of meat, the more important it is. I'm going to cook that a little bit on the side like this. And it will still take a couple of minutes. See, I see a little bit of blood coming out of it here. The meat is cooking slower and resting, and at the time, I think I would take it out. Don't really want to puncture it, but I put it to rest. I would put it very often at home in an oven, like where you warm up the plate, you know, 120 degrees or whatever. Can let it rest here a couple of minutes. And then I'll put the onion in there. Smells good. I think I'll deglaze with a bit of white wine. You do it, especially at the last moment like that. You want your wine to boil, evaporate a couple of minutes for the harshness, of the wine to go and just to get the flavor, but not too much acidity. Then I continue cooking it with a little bit of stock to increase my sauce. Taste. That's good. Dash of salt. We are going to put the sage in it, so maybe I put it now so it has a chance to cook a little bit. Capers. I want to finish that sauce. I could thicken it a little bit or just put maybe like half a tablespoon of butter to give it a little bit of liant, we call, a little bit of thickening. Freshly ground pepper on top. That's it. Good stuff. Okay, I can put my veal now here. And you can see that even though it has only been here a couple of minutes, maybe even less, there is a certain amount of liquid which comes out of it. As I said, the myoglobin will come out of the meat as it rests, which is what happened here. There. This, of course, I will add to the sauce. I'll put that on top. And a little more maybe of the rind. That's it. The veal chop with the caper sauce. That's it. The roast beef has rested now, and it is ready to be carved. Still pretty hot. I'm going to take it and put it directly on the serving platter. Now what I want to do is to get rid of as much fat as I can here, and if I let it rest, the fat will come to the top, and I can't see the clear fat here, but there is a juice in the bottom that I want to keep and make a sauce with. So even though, as you see, I remove basically as much fat as I could from the top, it will still be a fair amount. And the rest, of course, this is very thick, concentrated juice. So I'll put this. I'm going to deglaze that with some red wine. Bring it to a boil. If I feel that it needs a bit of thickening, then I will put a dash of potato starch here, very little, again diluted with a bit of wine. You cannot use that raw, it has to be diluted with a liquid. And then the brown stock. So let's bring that to a boil. All right, now it cooked a little bit. I can add this. You really don't have to worry too much when you use a potato starch or a corn starch like this, because as it's diluted, when this touches the hot liquid, it thickens right on contact. So you put a little bit, stir it, look. A little more, stir it, look. And you stop whenever you feel you have enough. I want it just slightly oily, like a natural juice, That should be about fine. Here we are. You can see right probably in the center. If I could a whole rib, it has rested for a while, and you will have something very beautifully colored. I mean, for me, it can always be slightly more cooked or slightly even less, depending who you're serving it to. I would put my sauce in there, dribble a little bit on top here, give a bit of richness to the color here, a little bit on this here. The rest of the sauce on the side. A nice little bunch of watercress here. Get a bit of color. And this is it, the spicy rib roast. And now we're going to go a really earthy dish from Burgundy, a braised beef in red wine. This is the type of dish, that you do in winter when it's nice and cold. And the type of meat that you use is different, of course, than what we use for the roast beef. This is a piece of shank. The shank, and as you can see here, it seems that there is a lot of fat, but actually this is not fat, those are sinew, and as they cook, those sinew become very gelatinous and nice, and so we leave that on. However, I will remove the layer from the top. You don't want to take much more than that, because here is just a bit of a skin, and as I said, underneath, those are also sinew. See that large sinew here? It transforms kind of like in gelatin, when it's cooked, and it becomes very moist. Now we do the marinade, we call. And the marinade, I'm going to have a head of garlic. I heat it on the side here, and I leave my garlic in there, all. One large onion like that, be great. Couple of carrots. All of that will be cooked with the meat eventually. Okay, I have here a little bit of thyme. I mean, you could have thyme or savory. Here is thyme. I'm going to put a few bay leaf. Maybe 3 bay leaf or 4. Doesn't really matter. Oregano. A little bit. Peppercorn. I could put the peppercorn this way or crush them into what we call a mignonette. Red wine vinegar, 2 or 3 tablespoons, a bit of balsamic vinegar, a little bit of soy sauce, and then you want to marinate that with the wine. And here I need 3 cups of wine. 3 cups of wine, 75 centiliters is 1 bottle. And that's it. And of course, the better the wine, the better the result. Cover it and put that to marinate overnight or 1 day or 2 days, even 3 days in the refrigerator. And this is what I would get here. Put that piece of plastic wrap right on this one. And you can see that this one is right there, it changed color. And I'm going to put a dash of oil in there to start browning this. And that, I should actually dry it a little more. It will brown better. As soon as it's brown all around, and it will take 8, 10, 12 minutes, you put all your marinade on top of it, bring it to a boil, cover it, put it into a low oven, like 275 degrees for about 3 hours, and you have a very, very nice tender piece of meat. My meat has been braising now all that time, and you can see, putting my knife right through it, this is very tender. And the advantage of that piece of meat, very moist. So now I have to remove it, remove as much of the fat as I can, and of course, do a sauce with it. Here is the meat. Try to get all of your garnish out. Here we are. Braised meat. Now I can strain that. There is a fair amount of fat in it. I'm going to let it rest for a minute. press a little bit on it. I don't want to lose too much of it. That's it. In fact, I need a little bit of that basic sauce here to put in my mushroom. I have mushroom here. And I cook that with a bit of the wine sauce. On this side, I have carrot, and I have baby onion, which are hot, and here potato. So all of that are going to be part of the garnish. So I can put them all together now, actually, and drain out the water. All of that is going to be added to the meat. This is drained a little bit. I will try with this to pick up as much fat as I can. See what you do with the top of your ladle here. Try to scoop just the fat. Very often you push with the back of it on one side to pick it up on the other side. I want to bring that to a boil now. Thicken it. Maybe a little bit of fresh wine will be good with that. Bring it to a boil. And I'm going to thicken it with a dash of potato starch, which I will again dilute with wine. All right. The mushroom. Remember, I put a ladle or two of the wine sauce in there, and it's cooked. So that will be part of our garnish here. So this is ready. I can put the juice back in there, or in fact, I can put the whole thing in there. And now I'm ready to thicken it. Let's see what it looks like when it gets hot enough. It should be nice and syrupy. I don't want it to be too thick, but if I don't have enough, I put a little more. I think that should be fine. I'm going to test it, of course. Very winey. That's good. I need pepper in there. If I cut it in there, you will see that that meat inside is really kind of falling apart, just the way the braised meat should be. So here it is. Vegetable. Okay, this is hot. They are all warm, so the boiled onion, the baby carrot, and then, of course, the sauce with the mushroom. It's a type of like a burgundy, but done in a braised way. And this is it. The braised beef in red wine sauce, right there for a whole family. You can present those as I did here, family style, you know. And that's nice to do that very often. We are so used now to serve everything on plate, but for even a formal dinner for a family, I love to put it this way. You know, how you serve it makes a difference, especially when you are with your guests or with family. You know, I'm never ready to leave the table when I'm with friends and that the food is good and the wine plentiful. Happy cooking. Happy cooking.